Lesson 1-5 is on solving inequalities. Here's some steps for solving and graphing inequalities. First of all, when you solve an inequality, you solve it just like you would an equation. You're going to undo the operations to get the variable by itself. The only difference is, instead of having an equal sign, you're going to have one of these four symbols that I wrote down here in red. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So instead of just getting one value like x equals 9, your symbol would tell you that x would be less than 9 or x would be greater than 9. And so we don't just get one value for the solution, we get a whole set of numbers for our solutions. So after you find the solution, you need to make a number line that includes your solution. Okay? Step 3, on the number line, you're going to use an open dot for less than and greater than. And what I mean by that is whatever you get for your value, use an open dot on that number. You use a closed dot for less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. We use a closed dot to show that we are including that value because we're also equal to the number, not strictly less than or greater than. And step 4, you need to shade an arrow going to the left or to the right. And if you have the symbols less than or equal to, that means go to the left. And if you have the symbols greater than or equal to, that means go to the right. One special rule that you have to remember when you're solving inequalities is that if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. And I'll show you an example of that. Okay, so here's the first one that we're going to try. 7x minus 5 is greater than 6x plus 4. We're first going to solve it and then we'll put our solutions on the number line. Okay, so I want to get x by itself. I'm going to take away 6x on both sides. Subtract 6x on the right, subtract 6x on the left. Now 7 minus 6 gives us 1x, so x minus 5 is greater than 4. Now we want to get x by itself, so I'm going to add 5 on both sides. Always doing the opposite because negative 5 and positive 5 cancel out, so we get x is greater than 4 plus 5 is 9. At no time here did I multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, so there's no reason to switch the sign. We simply have x is greater than 9. Now on your number line, you're going to put 9 in the middle. And then I would suggest just drawing a few numbers to the right, 10 and 11, maybe just a couple, and then a couple to the left, 7 and 8. Okay, so now we have a number line centered around 9, which is what we got when we solved the equation. Okay, the symbol greater than tells us to make an open dot on 9. Okay, and I'm going to draw it above it so you can see it a little bit better. Open dot on 9, this means that 9 is not a solution. But everything greater than 9 is a solution here, and so I want to make my arrow going to the right. X is greater than 9 would be an open dot on 9 and everything going to the right. Then we're done. Let's try a second one here. Negative 0.25y is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, only one step to solve this equation here, and that is to cancel out negative 0.25. So because they're being multiplied here, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 0.25. These cancel out and give me 1y. And now because I divided both sides by a negative, you have to make sure that a red flag goes off in your brain. I divided both sides by a negative. I need to reverse my symbol. So now it becomes less than or equal to, because of that special rule. And 2 divided by negative 0.25 gives me negative 8. Alright, so we have y by itself, and y is less than or equal to negative 8. Again, keep in mind the reason why we had to reverse the symbol. Okay, on your number line now, you're going to center negative 8 on the number line. And now be careful with these negatives. When I draw a few numbers to the right here, it's negative 7, negative 6. And when I draw a few numbers to the left here, it's negative 9 and negative 10. Okay, so I've got a number line that's centered around my value, negative 8. The symbol less than or equal to tells me to make a closed dot on negative 8, so color it in. And less than or equal to means I want to shade the values that are to the left. Now, this arrow, this graph, represents everything that's a solution. The y values could be anything less than or equal to -8. So the closed dot means we're equaling -8 in the solution set here. We're including it, I mean. And then everything to the left is included as well. So there's an infinite amount of solutions. Let's try one more together. -m is less than or equal to m plus 4 divided by 9. All right, well, I really don't like this fraction here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the fraction, and the opposite of dividing by 9 is multiplying by 9. I have to do this step before I can do anything with the m plus 4. I have to get rid of the fraction. Okay, so 9 times -m is -9m. I've got less than or equal to. I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping both sides both sides straight, and also keeping my sign the same until I need to switch it. The multiplying by 9 and dividing by 9 undo each other, and I have m plus 4. Okay, now I want to get m by itself, so I better put the two m's together. I'm going to subtract m on each side. -9m, take away one more, that's -10m, is less than or equal to, m minus m cancels out, and I just have 4 on this side now. Okay, to cancel out -10, these are being multiplied here, so I'm going to do the opposite and divide both sides by -10. This works because -10 over -10 gives me +1, and now I have +1m. Okay, now again, a red flag should go off. We just divided both sides by a negative number, so I need to switch my sign around. So I'm going to reverse it to greater than or equal to, and 4 divided by -10, that's -0.4. -4/10 or -0.4. Okay, so there's my solution. M could be anything greater than or equal to -0.4. Now let's go to our number line here. All right, I don't really want to deal with decimals on my number line, so I'm just going to use maybe like 0, 1, 2, and then of course I need some negatives, so then I'll go -1, -2, -3. Okay, that's good enough for me. Now think about where -0.4 is on the number line. Halfway here is -0.5, so -0.4 must be right around here. Just going to draw another slash in. I'll put a -0.4 there so that everybody knows that's my, that's my solution. Remember, this is a 1. Okay, and now the symbol greater than or equal to tells me to use a closed dot. So I'm going to fill in my circle here. And greater than or equal to -0.4 means anything to the right of -0.4, including -0.4, is a solution to this inequality. Okay, try a couple on your own. Bring them to class completed, and we'll go over the answers.